All right, so this is how it's going to go. What's going on, folks? It's James, aka Spinderella, man, the Spinner Song and Sound, coming back at you with another episode of S.OH.S. Podcast. This is episode 8, and we're going to be doing a topic that I know all too well about, like the back of my hand, that I don't have to use. But that topic is the power struggle of American song. So the business of recording or producing songs in general is brutal, and like most businesses, whether you work at a studio, own the studio, or do both like I'm doing to produce my own albums, there's a lot of uncertainty, but loving the grind keeps me personally committed as well as convicted. Now the song business is never lacking creatives, so there's always this power struggle I figured I would make a great podcast episode about, because if you want to produce albums you think are great or epic, then you will usually get crushed by expectations, folks. Listeners just only want to hear certain types of song during the day, but there's enough work and styles out there for somebody to be a fan of on whatever album you want to make if you got the skill set. So don't let some doubt or discouragement from any lame naysayer deny that if you truly love music enough to give back to it like I do. The example I'll give is my own career. I started off with electronic music, loving all types of song, especially classic hip-hop. Then further down the road to this very day, I've built more onto my catalog of styles over time, and I would say to anyone wanting to start from scratch like I did is don't let impractical hopes crush you to work towards finishing that dream album, because not everybody or every day will you have time or energy to work on songs. Also, if you're going to do it yourself, handling publishing an entire album production with all the moving pieces, know what sacrifice that will take, because it is going to be just hard enough that about 95 to 99% of the planet will never attempt such a thing due to the strenuous labor involved. But if you take pride in your job like I do, then hey, maybe it will someday be a classic of sorts in the near or distant future. It's not always possible to tell, and finishing an opus, a masterpiece, or even a tour de force in general through creativity you want to produce is definitely always going to be harder than it looks, which most humans will not credit or even see for that fact what working class creatives like myself go through slaving over grooves. But there's a certain type of pride in it thanks to the dignity of labor being harvested if you love the job. That labor might not necessarily be a hit record or very viable, but job pride is critical if you want to make a career causing a difference, especially if you're experienced and knowledgeable enough to produce arrangements yourself with something keyword worthwhile, which I know a bit about with how elaborate my own work is, because each record is like going down a totally different rabbit hole. Choices must be made on them as a producer if you are in charge of your album, as some are not indie creatives, let alone in charge of their own album, aka pawns to the system being a commodity. That can be good or bad, but I am far from a commodity as a creative, and the grassroots approach I live is not for everyone, and not everyone starts bootstrapped like I did or wants to live a creative lifestyle like I do, yet those starting off bootstrapped is how you know someone cares about their labor quality, because I'm a slave to my trade, and whether or not I got more money, just know I am still locked in a similar cage. So being in this doing everything for nothing type scenario, which I hate to say telling y'all that, but this next part will make up for it, as I say, being in that self-made position blows so much shit out the water in existence, it's not even funny, y'all. Also, music is not something I do, folks. It is who I am, as the spinner of song and sound, with a name I don't want everybody to know, because mass appeal or limelight comes at a steep opportunity cost, especially to those crappy celebrities, which not all celebrity figures are terrible. So don't get me wrong about that, but you have to expect some celebrities may be a crummy or shitty personality that somehow earns stardom as a figurehead in society, inducing a big keyword called depravity in major societal decaying ways. It's been going on for decades in the US. I won't get into a lot, just know there's merit to what was just said, or music would still sound like Jefferson's Starship, which is far few between. Some humans are cloud chasers for money, or whatever reasons, which reasons are endless, but all of entertainment as an umbrella, with music being one of the major few, is about building your name up, especially if you're trying to sustain something over a lifetime, not just get rich off big catchy songs, doing business for whatever brand you are, because that creative legwork is up to you. I'll use myself again as an example because I am the legitimate heartbeat of S.OH.S. and HFA Records within my entertainment company, which has a lot going on as it's based around my lifestyle, with the studio only being one portion of that because I manage other business businesses I won't get into. But with all that said, there's a lot of value in songs, no matter the kind you want to create, if you can polish or produce your mixes properly. And I can't really think of anything you can package better than albums, because they are the ultimate creativity besides maybe filmmaking, but I prefer songs more, which audio to me leaves more of a theater to the mind, so to speak. A few more things I want to say is nowadays, with how advanced technology has gotten, there are more amateurs than ever wanting to be a professional star, whatever the fuck that is, or expert like I am in the making, but don't grind their ass off to make something shine. And at times I sit between rookies as well as pros, struggling to make magic happen myself. But no, I watch really carefully what others do, or at times I even hear some songs, new songs, if something is fire enough to catch my ear's attention, as I'm a fan of many. Yet nobody on this planet will tell me otherwise, that companies don't ruin the business of song, because business politics is what contracts stardom inside the publishing or service industry, which I feel lots of Americans ruin, focusing more on fame by making catchy pop music instead of meaningful songs with art. But we can bring it back with sacrifice plus creativity, or creative integrity, y'all, that starts in the underground. Not many creatives can hold their own weight unless you got someone who's insanely devoted to the power struggle, which is what it takes, folks. But no producing or performing anything is still an all-around doozy or rough ride, with how costly it is finding the right people to produce an album that is a win-win, because the tangible hospitality service behind making albums is astronomically expensive. And recollect this next thing I'm going to say, as there is no perfect system in life, period. Some are more ideal, and many, like my own, are forced to improvise or make do, which that doesn't bother me whatsoever, because with tragedy very well comes triumph over time. Wrapping this up, albums are the business of dreams, and it's still an epic ride if you can get your feet off the ground, which should come by no surprise is not easy due to how saturated the market never isn't. Just don't forget, anything is possible with hard work, even if recording productions is $100 to $1,000 an hour with all services involved. So whatever magic you want to slave over, better be the holy cow of India type shit, or you're going to end up moonlighting like most of us looking for a come up. Anyhow, that's all for episode 8 of S.O.S, folks. Check out Que Sera Sera when it comes out in the following weeks. Plus, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Spinderella Man, the Spinner Song and Sound, signing off. Stay light, you're grooving, y'all. Peace.